Well, let's talk about the royals. I know, I try not to do that too often, but they played a very big role last week in that state visit from Donald Trump and, you know, rolling out the red carpet, the state banquets and all the meeting and greeting. And that's exactly what we have a royal family for, to further our soft interest on the world stage. And they certainly did that. But some of the royals just continue to be a problem. Well, one in particular, of course, has been Prince Andrew. Well, maybe out of the royal fold in terms of public duties, but he is nevertheless the brother of the king and the uncle of the future king. But Prince Andrew never out of the news. And neither often is his ex-wife, the Duchess of York, who's still a very close friend, lives in the same house as him. And Sarah, Duchess of York, has been in the news again over this weekend, as it turns out that after she, like Prince Andrew, insisted that she had absolutely ended all contact with Jeffrey Epstein, having been close friends with him along with her then husband over the many years. In 2011, she publicly stated, no, absolutely, she would have no contact with Jeffrey Epstein again. This was 2 years after he had been convicted of procuring an underage girl for prostitution. Pretty clear, disgusting crime. And yet these leaked emails have emerged which showed that straight after that, a few weeks later, she wrote to Jeffrey Epstein to call him a steadfast, generous and supreme friend. Well, let's talk about this with Rupert Bell, Talk's royal correspondent. Good afternoon to you, Rupert.
Good morning from New York.
Oh, good morning to you. That's very interesting. Oh, you're at the UN General Assembly recognising a Palestinian state as well?
No, I'm going to be recognising European golfers beat US next week in front of Donald Trump.
Come on, there we are. Fingers crossed for that. Rupert, and I'll be forced to watch it. Rupert, I mean, the Duchess of York has put her foot in it many times, her toes being sucked in it over the years, along with Prince Andrew. What on earth was she doing, writing an email to Jeffrey Epstein, already convicted of a horrific crime, saying he was her supreme friend?
Well, we've got best pal last week from Peter Mandelson. Now we've got a supreme friend. So both of them, they're mirroring almost the same kind of response to him. And also there are rumours, amounts of money that Jeffrey Epstein might have paid to the Duchess of York to bail her out of her financial woes, which she's had at various stages throughout her life. And again,
as indeed has Prince Andrew. I mean, this is the thing. Both the couple, when they were together, there seemed to be, the South Fork Ranch they were given and then sold at a far above the legal, the agreed, recommended price, shall we say, the market price. But again, these are people who have access to huge funds and yet seem to constantly be financially in difficult straits.
Well, this is what beggars belief. And the Duchess of York, yes, she stuck by Andrew, but this is just further testament. And she said one of the reasons that she didn't want to tarnish his reputation. Well, unfortunately, his reputation is now in the gutter. And at the same time, Duchess of York has now dragged herself back into that gutter with these letters. So it's not a good look. I do feel for the two children because they must get just so fed up with once again.
Here we go again.
Here we go again. And it just shows that Jeffrey Epstein that problem is not going away. It's going to be a perennial one for the royal family. And you could see last week, William, the last thing he wanted to do was stand next to the Duke of York at the Duchess of Kent's funeral. He thought, this is not what I want. This is not good for the look of the royal family. And this again, just, Sarah, Duchess of York, is bit like Prince Andrew, may not be the brightest tool in the box. So unfortunately, she's got the royal family in a pickle. She says she was doing it because she didn't want to be threatened by Jeffrey Epstein, who was threatening to sue and everything. I don't know. It just feels ridiculous that he
very questionable. Look, we know. Look, Prince Andrew's. He was happy to take, to have the company of and enjoy the hospitality of some very, very unsavoury characters around the world. Again, a lot of these people, like Peter Mandelson, they've never met a billionaire they didn't like. They really haven't. But one thing I find extraordinary is I'd rather admire Prince Andrew and Sarah Ferguson for their relationship, even though the marriage didn't work out. They clearly have incredible friendship. That must be wonderful for their kids. I'm not, not inside the middle of their relationship. But I do find it extraordinary how the kids cope with the fact that, your dad, when we were teenagers, your dad was mates with a guy who was basically abusing and raping and trafficking girls our age. And are we all just fine with that?
I don't. That's what I think. It's incredibly difficult for both Princess Eugenie and Beatrice and their family that they've endlessly, yesterday waking up again more headlines. You can't get away from it.
No.
So wherever they go, if it's splashed everywhere, you just look at a newspaper and and it must be tough for them. And
well, it's tough for them, but then Prince Andrew and Sarah Ferguson could have made it not tough for them by not being mates with the paedophile, particularly after he was convicted the first time. This is the interesting thing. So we know that King Charles has been very ruthless, wanting Prince Andrew, the favourite son of his mother, wanting him out of the field, wants to throw him out of his big house, and certainly wanting him to be out of the public sight. And again, Prince Andrew ain't going away quietly. There's every opportunity, every family event, whether a celebration or a funeral, he makes sure he's there, doesn't he? He's at the front. Hello, make sure I'm here. I'm still in the fold. He's desperate to get back. He will not take no for an answer. We seem to have a similar situation with Prince Harry, who said he wants none of it. He wanted a private life. He went off to California, decided to put his entire private life and his relationship with his brother and his father straight into a book, onto Netflix screens. He's been back, but there's been a lot of talk that he is kind of coming back to Britain. He met with his father for the first time in a long time, not with his brother yet, but that he wants a way back to be a half-in, half-out royal. But the message has come back from Buckingham Palace, not going to happen.
Yeah, and what seems to have happened, the Sussex PR machine who has suddenly gone in, look, we're coming back. After that trip when the well child, and he did various things, goes up to Ukraine with or without the blessing of the British government, with Yvette Cooper, whose trip to Ukraine was completely overshadowed by Prince Harry's visit, and then he disappeared for an hour. Did he go and see President Zelensky? The point is, they now think, well, this is showing we're back. But actually, the king is saying, absolutely not. What he wants to do is restore his relationship with his son and get him to shut up and stop bleating to the press.
Yeah.
Well, what's happened since? We've told that there were tears and everything was very emotional. We're hearing everything. Well, who's doing it? It's not the royal family side.
Yeah.
We know which side is trying to do this. So they must be, again, rolling their eyes and just saying, shut up for a change.
This is the thing. All he needs to do is prove that he can have a conversation with them without it going in the papers. And that's the thing. You can understand why William's going, nope, nothing comes out of that family, zipped it, then no, it's not going to happen. Here's the thing, though. Is there talk of Prince Harry bringing Meghan and his kids back to this country? And is that, if so, or leaving the family? There's lots of talk about trouble in that marriage, or here's the thing: is it because, look, actually we're not really making it in California, we're not the sort of the royals abroad, we haven't got that status, we're not making the money we want, and we want to come back for a bit of HRH status?
Well, that's basically it, but they're not going to get that. Well, of course they can come for a holiday at Balmoral, but do all the family things. But as the king has said, and the Queen, the late Queen, quite Catherine, rightly said, you can't have it both ways. You can't have your cake and eat it. If you're in the royal family, then you have to take on what that means. And it's not a lot of fun a lot of the time. It's mundane. But at the same time, they want the money side of it. And if you're going to earn money, the king is saying, then you go and do your own thing. And whatever you want to do. Yesterday, we saw them at some Kevin Costner thing, parading themselves, just trying to prove that they're having a lovely time and at the heart of something. How much was that stage managed? I don't know. So the Sussex PR machine is in full gear, and William is not only frustrated with Andrew and Harry, I'm pretty sure he's frustrated with our football team, Aston Villa, at the moment. So he's got a lot of problems on his plate at the moment.
Rupert Bell, enjoy the golf when it starts. Talks for our correspondent there. He loves it. He loves his racing. He loves his golf. There's Rupert there. I'm never quite sure how much he loves the Royals, to be fair.